Thank you. Next item is invocation and pledge of allegiance.
Yes, if I can have everyone please stand for the invocation and pledge allegiance. Heavenly Father, may everything we do begin with your inspiration. Lord, you know that we seek you first in all that we do for our citizens and community. Let our work always find its origin in you and through you as it reaches its completion. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated.
Okay, the next item is disclosure of conflict of interest. Anna, was anything filed that we need to? Okay, thank you. The next item are presentations. And the first item for our presentation, proclamation actually, it's a National Homeownership Month. Ms. Carrillo?
Yes, Mayor, Council, I believe we've got some representatives here with us from Affordable Homes, if they'd like to come up for the
Yes,
reading of
please.
the proclamation. The proclamation reads as follows. Where each day thousands of working families across the United States achieve the American dream of owning a home of their own. Whereas the City of Mission has always been a proud and strong supporter of home ownership, which has positive impacts on family, neighborhoods, and the community. Whereas Affordable Homes of South Texas, Inc., in partnership with the City of Mission, has developed Speedy Trail Subdivision in honor of fallen police officer Corporal Jose Speedy Espiricueta Jr., focused on affordable housing. Whereas June also marks the 47th anniversary of Affordable Homes of South Texas, founding whose purpose is to create and support successful ownership opportunities for families. Whereas Affordable Homes, in conjunction with the City of Mission, is a proud proponent of home ownership, will join with communities across the United States to recognize the month of June as National Homeownership Month. Now, therefore, we, the City Council of the City of Mission, do hereby proclaim the month of June 2023 as National Homeownership Month, proclaimed on this, the 12th day of June, 2023.
Approval?
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the proclamation as read. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
I was voting with y'all when y'all were saying aye. I'm sorry. Good afternoon, and thank you, Mayor Garza and council members, for this recognition. I am Lorena Castillo, and I'm the president of Affordable Homes of South Texas, Inc., also known as AUSTI. Although this is an annual homeownership proclamation, we use it to serve as a reminder that owning a home is still the American dream, even in today's economic environment. We at Affordable Homes of South Texas remain committed, as we've done for nearly 50 years, to finding a way to continue to help families achieve home ownership and help build wealth across generations. That is why we are excited and proud to have launched our first subdivision in Mission, called Speedy Trails, named in honor of Corporal Jose Speedy Espiricueta Jr., a dedicated Mission police officer that lost his life in the line of duty in 2019. Speedy Trails will result in 107 new homeowners when fully developed. As of today, we have 25 spec homes under construction. We will be holding a series of events in the upcoming weeks to pre-qualify future homeowners for the subdivision. We encourage anyone interested to attend any of these events. The first one will be held this Thursday during our Welcome Home Mission event at our Homeownership Center. Our telephone number is 956-687-6263 to set up an appointment. On behalf of the AUSTI board, staff, and our countless supporters, we thank the City of Mission for this proclamation and being a supporter of affordable homes. And I have Bobby Calvillo, our executive director, who is really the man behind it all. Mm-hmm. And I have Ms. Connie Garza, who is our board member, who is with the City of Mission.
Okay.
So, thank you very much.
Either one of you would like to say a few words? Connie?
I'm really excited that finally we have affordable homes being, set up here in Mission. And we're excited also for the support from the City of Mission and the City Council. And it's 107 families that will achieve that American dream that we all look for.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Okay, we have a
proclamation, ma'am.
proclamation for you. If-
Don't go away so fast. We want a
Yeah, don't go
picture.
away so fast. You wanna go down a little bit? There you go. Okay, the next item is a presentation by Andrew Cannon, Executive Director of RGVMPL. Andrew? Hi. Good afternoon.
Council members, Mr. Perez, thank you for letting me come today. I'm here to give you some money.
Awesome. Awesome.
You can come every week.
A couple,
Every week.
easy. A couple of months ago, Mayor, we were notified by TxDOT. We knew out of the new transportation bill, there was a carbon reduction program as a part of that, and we waited for some guidance. And then TxDOT provided us some guidance that we needed to program 4 years' worth of projects regionally that would meet the requirements of the carbon reduction program. Biannually, we have Coal Plan that conducts a congestion study region-wide. And we've worked with the City of Mission before. The RGVMPL board, actually it was the Hidalgo County at that time, but the MPO board set aside $1 million for the City of Mission, Edinburgh, McAllen, and FAR to use for light synchronization throughout the region at that time. I think it was tremendously successful. We thank JP and the staff because Mission was the fiduciary agent and the lead on that project for everybody. So I know there was a lot of coordination that went on, and City of Mission was the lead on that. So moving up to date now, through the process of working with Mr. Taylor, we have identified 17 intersections within the City of Mission that right now we budget at being approximately right at about $79,000 in the way of needs. I think there's another slide. I apologize. I'm not certain. That's a good illustration. We'll go with that. Most of the intersections are east-west corridors, Griffin Parkway, Business 83, where we see the real need for new equipment, loops, or geo clocks to go into the cabinets for synchronization. So we brought this listing of projects to the policy board at our previous meeting, and it was unanimously approved by the policy board at that time. So what we will be doing now, I wanted an opportunity to visit, just let the council know about the opportunity here. I'll be working with your staff to identify and be able to move forward and see how we can do a coordination process again with the other cities that we have that are identified for additional funding as well. Right now, I've asked the City of Edinburgh to consider being the fiduciary agent on this go-around because they have a larger amount, and I don't see it necessary to ask the City of Mission again to have a financial burden since their amount is a great deal lower than what the City of Edinburgh's would be. Okay. They're open to the idea. I visited with the Assistant City Manager last week, so we're making real good headway, and we're excited about the opportunity to bring this. It's going to be about a $16,000 expense to the City of Mission in return for $78,860. So a little less than $1,000 per intersection that we're looking to do improvements on. So, absolutely. I mean, considering overall 80 cents on the dollar the city will receive, and when we're cost estimating new cabinets are around $20,000 a piece. There's a couple of cabinets. I don't know if we have that slide as well. I guess not. We did identify a number of cabinets, loops, and clocks for the city, so I will sit down with your staff and go over that with all of them to make sure that we're in good shape, and we'll be able to move forward from that point. So that concludes any information I have to share today, unless there are any questions on this.
This is going to improve the traffic flow, right? Once everything gets synchronized, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, that's
Yes.
exactly what it's there for.
Okay.
So what we try to do through the coordination is our consultant has already run a model, if you will, on a computer system. We go out and work with the cities. We don't do it absent of your staff. Again, Randy and JP have been really good about letting staff coordinate with Mr. Taylor. We'll go out and assist the staff on implementing the timings. And we really try to work on those corridors, whichever direction it may be going. So once your light turns green, hopefully they're turning green sequentially as you're going down the corridor, and likewise with the red lights. That's why it's an easy sell. So far for federal highways on this as part of the carbon program, because we're not having vehicles turning green, coming to a red light and then sitting, increasing our carbon footprint. We're trying to get those corridors flowing through to reduce that carbon footprint, and we think that it's a good sell to them. So hopefully that will help the citizens of Mission as well as all of us.
Okay.
The citizens of Mission, I got scared for a second.
Yeah.
The citizens of Mission as well as those who visit Mission
Okay.
to be able to traverse through the city easier.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. It's
Any
absolutely.
questions for Andrew? No? Okay, thank you so
There's
much.
no other questions, ma'am? May I be
Yes, you,
excused?
yes, you may. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
I think
nobody
it's-
wants a picture.
I
with
think
me.
it's easier for you to come up.
I-
If we don't take a picture, then it didn't happen.
Oh, there you go.
We didn't post it on our social media.
I really don't know how to feel about that comment. I thought the rule was if you did take a picture, it didn't happen. Well, that's what you said, okay. I lost on that one totally. I totally goofed that up. It's a while. Good to see you.
Let me have you all look over here at me. Awesome. Right here, and in 3, 2, 1. One more, and 3, 2, 1.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you soon.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. It's already in the process, yes. Yeah. We need that. Oh, gosh, yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, next item is a report from our Rio Grande Valley Humane Society. Louise?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are
Thank you all for having me. Thank you for affording the opportunity to show some of this really great news. I did prepare a presentation. I'm not sure if it's up. Okay, perfect. So our intake numbers average about 274 animals per month, and that is up almost, well, it's actually over 100 more animals per month than were brought into the shelter in the previous year. So we're taking in a lot of animals off the street, and we're doing a really great job, thanks to the community, of saving a lot more of them. And so I have a graph on one of those, a chart that shows just how much things have increased last month alone. We took in nearly 400 animals into the shelter, and that is historically significantly higher than any other month that we have on record. Last month, we adopted out over 86 animals. 86 animals. And previously, those numbers were significantly smaller, and they're growing ever since we took over, which is really fantastic. Our first month, we had 18 adoptions. Second month was 47. Third month was 47, and jumped right up to 86 in May. So hopefully we can keep up that really good momentum at the shelter. We're still doing spay-neuter. Everybody's getting vaccinated, and we will have our monthly clinic in just a few short weeks. And so I wanted to make sure to highlight a few points. Again, our monthly average intake in the year 2022 was 171, and now it is increased to 274 with, again, over 400 400 just in May alone. And our one of these slides, I'm not sure you want to get to, we want to really thank the community for all of that good work that we're able to do. It wouldn't be possible with just the few individuals who work at the shelter. We're very thankful to the Hidalgo County Cotillion for coming out and dropping off thousands of pounds of donated food and supplies. It was really nice to get those girls out there walking our dogs, playing with our kittens, spreading awareness. I mean, they're way better at social media than we are, so it was really great to have them out there loving our animals and donating their time and food. So that was really a sweet moment for us and got a lot of awareness out there. We also wanted to thank the City of Mission for inviting us to the Drive Out the Darkness event a few weeks ago. It was a really special moment, really important event, and we were able to get out a few animals that desperately needed homes. And I think we brought a lot of smiles to some of the kids' faces, so we were really happy to be a part of that. And hopefully we'll just make it bigger and bigger every year. And coming up on July 1st, we'll have, I believe it's our third drive-through vaccination clinic at our location here in Mission. And registration has opened up. We have a cap of about 500 animals, and I think we're about halfway full. So we still have about 250 spots for people to sign up. If anybody's interested in getting their animal vaccinated at low cost, please sign up and register online. And just wanted to make a special note that 4th of July is coming up. It's a very loud holiday, a lot of fireworks, which we love. It tends to stress out animals, so we want to make sure that people understand that we offer microchips at our location every single day, 7 days a week. So we want to make sure to get that awareness out there. So yeah, that's what I've got for us. A lot of really great news, a lot of really good work being done, and want to thank the city for their partnership. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for Louise?
Well, I did see that in April, there was an average of about 9 animals taken to the shelter, or versus almost double, 20 per day. What do you contribute? What do you think changed, or what happened there? I mean,
With the increase, sir? So I think there are probably several factors. I think the fact that we are now really active on social media potentially is a contributor, that people now know that we're there. We've spoken to a lot of Mission residents who really weren't aware that the shelter was there. That's kind of a common occurrence throughout every city. Now that we're putting a little bit more spotlight on it, I think that could be a factor. I think another factor are the severe storms that we've had. A lot of fences knocked down, a lot of animals lost, and a lot more animals out on the street. So that's probably one of the biggest factors. Seasonally, we do see an increase at our shelter, both here and in Harlingen, just because that's when all the kittens and puppies are born. So typically around March, April, things start to get really intense until probably about August, September. They get less intense after that, but still pretty heavy. So I think there's a few factors, and I think those are at least a couple, sir.
well, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, thank you so much. We'll move on to the next item. And that is the report from our chamber.
Yes.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So wonderful activities happening at the Chamber. This Thursday, we do have an educational development session on the topic of language of business. So we do invite anybody who would like to learn more about the educative part of language with the SBDC. They're welcome to join us. Later that evening, we do have a business member mixer. So we do invite all of our Chamber members and any other potential members interested in doing networking it's going to be at the Grove. It's actually here in Mission, so we're excited to check it out as well. And that'll be happening from 5:30 to 7:30. On the 16th, we do have a ribbon cutting with Mercom LLC. They actually just signed up today. They are the authorized Spectrum retailer, so we're excited to have them in town, and they are here off of Conway. So we do invite the community to come and join us. On the 22nd, we do have a chat session that is available to any business owners, and they're going to be featuring the Lift Fund resources, and that is also with our SBDC webinars. We have a ribbon cutting for the Social Garden CrossFit. They are celebrating their new location, so they're moving into actually one of our Killam development properties, so we're excited about that too. And just a reminder, we do have our boot camp, the Workforce Solutions Entrepreneur Boot Camp happening. It's a one-day event, and it's on the June 29th from 9 to 4. And we have a ribbon cutting for Shalotsky's, and Shalotsky's location will be on Cherry. So we're excited about new sandwiches as well.
When is that?
When is that one?
This one is for June 30th at 9:30 in the morning.
But it's Sherry and what, Brenda?
Business City 3, ma'am, it's behind the Circle K.
Oh, is that what's going there?
Yes,
Oh, it's
ma'am.
my favorite.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry, that-
8:05. Yeah, 8:05. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you hear that, Brenda? You're buying us lunch on that day? That's what Ruben said. Okay.
I didn't know that. Good.
All right, so the next item is our departmental reports. Are there any questions? Those were in our packets.
Mayor, I move to approve the reports as presented.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to approve the reports as presented. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously. Next item is citizens' participation. Ms. Anna, has anyone signed up?
Yes, ma'am, I've got 8 people signed up. The first one is Maria Esther Salinas.
Okay.
Good afternoon. Maria Esther Salinas, 715 Miller Avenue. What have you done? Roosevelt Elementary Auditorium was a National Registered Historical Site, and it has been destroyed. Listed under the National Register of Historical Places under the U.S. Department of Interior. The City of Mission Council messed up badly with its preservation ordinance, and as a result, the city could not help in preserving it. One of you council members up there said, oh, there's 22 departments. If I'm elected, I'm going to make sure I go in and checks and balances needed. Well, who dropped the ball? That permit to demolish should have never been granted. Who wrote and cut and pasted an ordinance from Plano that did not apply to Mission? I offered help, and so did some other people, to the school board. We told them, we can come up and help you. They said, oh, no, it's going to cost $2 million. I helped Xochitl Art Institute get its landmarker, and I helped Our Lady of Guadalupe get its landmarker. The $2 million needed, we could have got it to preserve, not destroy this building. It was failure to inspect, maintain, and repair continuously this National Historical Site. The auditorium was innocent. It positively educated Mexican and Mexican-American students south of the railroad track. It was magnificent. We could have preserved, but no. Egos kicked in when people in our heads of city or school boards refused to listen to their voters and taxpayers. That was my school. I went there from K to 5th. I cannot believe what has happened. The auditorium was innocent. It was destroyed due to destruction by negligence. There's a committee in town that's supposed to be to preserve. Well, guess what? There was just a regional meeting. Not one of those committee members went. Where was Charlie Garcia? Where was he? Where was all the committee members? Check the logs. Not one of them attended. People came from all over Texas and knew what was happening. It's a disgrace. The destruction has greatly negatively affected me. We had the golden egg in our hands, and it was dropped. It was destroyed. We were about preserving, not destroying. We offered our help. No, they didn't listen. And some of these committees that you have on forever and ever, you need to just put new people in. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have David Garza. Okay. Mr. Garza, are you on Zoom? Okay, I had seen them on Zoom. Okay, now we've got Migdalia Ochoa.
Is she on Zoom?
Migdalia Ochoa? She's supposed to be on Zoom.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm Dio Ochoa. I'm the program director for Silver Ribbon Community Partners. And I signed up to talk about, and I don't know if it's in line with the agenda, but I did receive the notice to the public and for the public hearing. And I'm talking about the proposed annual plan. Silver Ribbon has appreciated the support from the City of Mission through CDBG funding. We are a nonprofit in McAllen that helps the elderly and adults with disability with financial assistance, with rent, utilities, medical expenses. And I received the notice where our funding went down from, it was initially, I believe, 6,000 at one point, and went to 5. Last year was at 3, and now it's cut down to $1,000. And that was shocking to me because we do a lot of work and benefits the community, especially our vulnerable elderly and adults with disabilities. I can guarantee you that the services are needed. Last year, we helped 41 clients from the City of Mission. We exhausted the $3,000 that were allocated to us, and we helped with a total of $6,772 of assistance to the citizens of Mission. So we did exhaust the $3,000 from CDBG, and we additionally assisted with over $3,000. And I just wanted to comment on that because our budget was cut down to $1,000 for the grant, and we would like for that to be reconsidered. So far, we have spent half of the CDBG funding for this year. We have helped over 10 clients, and we anticipate to exhaust that funding as well. So I'm just asking if they can reconsider, keep it at the $3,000. I think we've asked for $5,000, and according to this, they're considering $1,000. And it would be a very, very disappointing decision for your citizens of Mission because the need is there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yes, that is an item on our agenda that we'll be discussing later.
All right,
Public
thank you.
hearing setting. Okay, next item.
Irma
Next person.
Flores Lopez.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
Irma Flores Lopez, 1201 Carolyn. And yes to term limits. I looked up my social media, and I was barking about it since 2014, 9 years ago. So please follow through on term limits. I think Mission has a population of 85,000 plus. And I know Mission schools and shared land schools have schooled us well. And I think there's a lot of people who would like to serve. Next, of course, is Roosevelt Elementary. I have a picture of my grandfather on 3rd and Francisco in 1920. If y'all have me on social media, you'll see it. He grew up right across Roosevelt Elementary, did not attend school, but very historic. My mother and father attended Roosevelt, and so did I. I was a proud safety patrol, 2nd and 3rd grade. That's where I learned about rules. Don't run, don't fight, don't push, don't shout. And I became a social worker like Councilwoman Ortega, and we're all about a code of ethics. Well, like I usually do, I cruise around Mission to see what I see, and I cruised by last Tuesday, the day after Memorial Day, by 3rd and Francisco to look at my old school, Roosevelt Auditorium. And I saw it being demolished, or they started with a hammer here and there, and I got off my car, and I'm like, wait, what are y'all doing? Are you already starting to demolish? We didn't know. And I hear someone say, Irma, it's going to be okay. Well, the foreman knows me. Right away, I thought, my goodness, I'm in trouble. But I couldn't believe it. I drove by every day since then And on Friday, I drove by at noon and it hadn't been demolished. And then I drove by at about 3:30 after I picked up Mom at work. And I couldn't believe what I saw. And just that morning and the night before, I had a sinking feeling and memories of school. Foundation for many pioneer families like mine. Foundation of education. We had an opportunity to learn, and there was no regard to the respect and no courtesy to the people who walked to that school. I walked in elementary school. The front of the auditorium had a beautiful arch and panel, and it has an owl, or it had an owl in the middle, and it depicts Athena's owl of wisdom. It's perched atop a scroll flanked by torches of knowledge and ribbons. And right in the middle is a 1929 construction date of the auditorium, and it's all gone. Why couldn't they have started from the sides and saved the front for an ideal entrance for students to walk in? I'll never know. I just hope, like you all mentioned in the earlier meeting, that the school and the city work together. I love my community, and I know all of you do too. Let's save the history of the people we know, our families, who work so hard to put Mission on the map. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, I believe it's Louise Gonzalez.
Good afternoon, City Mayor and Council members. I am Louise speaking on behalf of the Grande Humane Society. We are in Benson with their crimson intake. We'll be asking increasing housing over capacity.
It's really hard to hear you. Can you get
Up to the microphone.
Yeah.
Increase in intake, in novel preparation, and then our resources are beginning to be competed, and we are asking for the city for more volunteer support and spread the word through social media. To help us clear the shelter and a better current numbers. Thank you, ma'am, for your time and your dedication.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I have a few more words
Yes.
about the same topic. My name is Anita Respondic, and this is my very first time to speak to any city council. So it's great to be here to see you all today. Tomorrow, I believe, will be June the 13th. Am I correct? Today's the 12th, tomorrow's the 13th. Tomorrow marks 15 years that my husband retired from the United States Air Force. And we decided to make Mission, Texas our home. He's an Edinburgh boy, and he graduated Edinburgh High, joined the Air Force, saw the world. We came back to the Valley, and he is now a farmer in McCook. And one thing that we promised our kids when we moved here from Bossier City, Louisiana, they were 10 and 12 at the time, is that we would get them a puppy. That's all they wanted for the trade-off of leaving their home and their family up there and their friends. They wanted a puppy. And so we did. We got them a little beagle puppy, but unfortunately we lost her a year afterwards. The loss of Phoebe, however, opened our eyes to the horrendous overbreeding and overpopulation of animals in the Rio Grande Valley. And since that time, we have been a rescue family. And we have advocated vigorously for the homeless animal population in our area. We now have one of our very own. His name is Charlie Beagle. He was scooped off the streets of Mission, Texas, right in front of St. Paul's Catholic Church, as a matter of fact. And I was told at the time, and I knew this already, to not take him to the shelter. 2 years ago, a year and a half, 2 years ago, when I met Charlie Beagle, I called and made all the, did he have a microchip? Was he any of these things? Nobody claimed him, so he's now our guy. We also have 2 that are being fostered from the RGV Humane Society. But because I am a volunteer with Paws for Help, and I have been for a year and a half, I've witnessed the evolution of the Mission Animal Shelter. I'd like to know how many of you have visited previous to the transition to the Humane Society? How many of you actually got to go out there and see what it looked like before? The conditions were sad and atrocious. And how many of you have seen the miraculous changes that Mr. Quintanilla has spoken about and has come to tell you about? It's nothing short of miraculous. And the numbers that he gave you just a few minutes ago don't really express the dire situation that is going on out there. I want to commend the City of Mission for becoming no-kill. That means a lot to our community. That speaks volumes to the surrounding communities to know if we can do it, then they also can do it. But we need more help from the city. There are numbers that are coming in, like the numbers that he gave you from the month of May. If you look at the numbers from a year ago, where were those numbers then? We still had the same number of AWOs, animal welfare officers. We have the same number of trucks. And I'm not saying that there's something nefarious going on. The storms do have something to do with it. But where are all of these animals exactly coming from? And why weren't they being brought to the shelters before? Or were they and we just didn't know about it? We don't know the whole answers to this. I really do want to commend every single one of you for signing up for the Rio Grande Valley Humane Society. It has made a huge, huge difference. But we need your continued support. We need as much social media presence as we possibly can muster. We need to be having this on newspapers and in our local newspapers as far as TV is concerned. They are worth it, every bit of support. Those young people that are working out there to keep our animals clean and well taken care of and adopted and fostered and rescued, they need our continued support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Santiago Coronado.
Not on Zoom either?
I think it's for an agenda item? Oh, okay. Okay, then.
Okay, he's going to wait.
Then our last one is Ms. Dandia Bai.
Okay. Ms. Dandia?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm Dandia Bai. Good afternoon, Mayor, Council members. I wanted just to present to you a very short story today that kind of sums up some information that we've been talking about in reference to the RGV Humane Society. First of all, I was recently out over in South Mission, right next door to our animal area, right? It used to be Mission Animal Shelter, now it's the RGV Humane Society. I was out there for an outing recently. Some of you may know that as the Mission Gun Range. And I was out there talking to a member who's worked there for over 30 years. And this gentleman, I was about to tell him a little history and some information. We were doing an event, and I wanted to share with him some of the changes that Mission has committed to at the shelter. Before I did that, I was just beginning to do so. He mentioned to me, is there something that's been happening over there recently? So he hit me with a comment, and then he hit me with a question. And he said, I got to ask you, what has changed? He said, I've worked here 30 years, and my job is to scout the area on a daily basis. If you know anything about the area, you know there's berms out there. You also know there's rattlesnakes, and you also know there's two-legged intruders that come across the property. And that man's job is to walk that property from top to bottom and make sure it's secure for the public when they go out there to the gun range or to archery. So I stopped and I said, tell me more. What is your comment? And he said, there's something definitely different about my north neighbor here. I said, do tell me. He said, well, I've been here 30 years, and in the past, I would hear horrific cries from animals, all during the day, and especially when there was a north wind. Horrific cries. I don't know what was going on. I don't know if they were starving. I don't know what the situation was, but I've heard it for years. And in the last few months, something has changed. I said, tell me more. There's been a calm about this place, very calm. There's definitely barking, but it's when they're being fed. And there's a different type of environment. I can feel it over here. So I looked that man right in the eyes with tears in mine, and I said, there's absolutely something that's changed. And Mission made a commitment. And guys, I want to share with you, the community is noticing, and please continue to support the RGV Humane Society. They are true leadership, making a difference in these lives of the animals. This is coming from a complete innocent bystander that knew nothing about your decision, that knew nothing about the change, but it was very evident in his observations. So I want to say thank you, and let's continue to be the positive influence for these animals and all of our community. Thank you.
Thank you. That's it? Okay. All right, that'll be the end of our citizens' participation items. The next item is a public hearing, and the first item is a proposed 5-year consolidated plan and strategy 23 through 27 annual plan.
Yes, good afternoon, Madam Mayor and City Council. So this is a draft plan. And so you're being handed the copy of the draft plan. This public hearing is to solicit comments on the draft 5-year consolidated plan and strategy from 2023 to 2027 and proposed annual action plan for FY 23-24, CDBG for the CDBG program. This strategy identifies the needs of the city and outlines the goals and outcomes for the next 5 years. The annual action plan describes the proposed activities recommended by the Citizens Advisory Committee on May 25th, 2023. The CDBG allocation is $962,344. And as it stands right now, the activities include Amigos de Valle, $30,000, RGVDC Area Agency on Aging, $2,000, Camp University, $3,000, Hope Medical Services, $3,000, Comfort House, $3,000, Children's Advocacy Center, $15,000, Silver Ribbon, $1,000, Affordable Homes of South Texas, $80,000, Housing Assistance Program, $537,000 with $581, and Program Administration of $183,930. This is the 30-day comment period ends on July 3rd of 2023. This is a public hearing, and this item is now before you.
Mayor, if I may, just wanted to also add to the presentation, we did pass out the 2023 annual action plan. And so if you look at the chart itself, the first column, which is in blue, is the amount funded for this current year. And the year-to-date expense is the green column, which is the second column to the right. And then what the third column, which is the amount requested from each of the agencies that was presented to the Citizens Advisory Committee. The next column is City Manager staff recommendation, which is the first column in yellow. And then the last column to the right is what is the Citizens Advisory Committee recommendation. And so one thing to note is that HUD does allow 15%, and they do have a cap for public services. So in this particular case, the total amount is $144,351. So that is the amount that is the maximum amount that can be allocated for public services. And so if you look at the city manager recommendation, I did utilize $144,000 of that for public services. We did look at the year-to-date expenditures, and that's how it was determined, the amount of expenditures that was going to be recommended. And so again, this is obviously for, it's a public hearing, and just wanted to explain the breakdown, and then of course, any recommendations or suggestions, we can definitely take those into consideration.
So, Ms. Mayor, are we allowed to speak or no, since it's a public hearing?
Yeah, we're allowed to speak.
Can we?
Yes, let me ask for public comment first, right?
Yes.
Yes. So is there anyone here that would like to speak in reference to the action plan for our CDBG allocations? Anyone here that would like to speak?
Mayor, I believe, for the record, we had Ms. Ochoa who spoke during the citizen participation. I
Yes.
believe it was about this item, so just.
Yes, that was the silver ribbon.
Yes.
So,
So we need to close up the hearing.
Well, I'd like to offer one.
Anybody else?
Anyone else that would like to speak in reference to the CDBG funds? No? Connie? You don't, I'm sure, go ahead. Only because we talked about it before.
Yes,
So,
thank
okay.
you. Bobby Calvillo, Affordable Homes in South Texas. So as we mentioned a little earlier, we're a 47-year-old nonprofit corporation. It's been around the valley for a long time, and we're excited about our first development in Mission. 107 families that will be able to enjoy homeownership and the opportunities of homeownership. The one thing that makes us different, I think, is the fact that we don't create homeowners. We try to create successful homeowners, and there is a difference. So with the amount that we've requested or that's been being recommended, we will be able to help those families that need a little bit of extra, just that last piece of the puzzle to get them to qualify. We have other resources that we're using. Obviously, to this point, we've spent over $4 million on that tract of land. We just need a little bit more help for the families that are attempting to qualify to own a piece of the American dream. In addition to that, we just received a grant award from the U.S. Treasury Department that's $500,000 that we'll be able to utilize in this development. So just that one little piece will make a big difference for families.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just a real quick question. What is the average that a homeowner would pay in closing costs? Not down payment, and down payment, including the down payment.
So the total investment by a family is $3,500.
$3,500.
That's the down payment, the closing costs, everything.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
So there's $100,000, we can divide it by that.
Yes. That would be.
So they would serve about 30-something families.
Right, and there's 107 actual home sites. So we wouldn't be able to help everybody, but we would be able to help.
At least one third.
A third, muscle metals, yes. Yes. Did you have something else to add? No? Okay.
Mayor, I have a question.
Yes.
I don't know if I can ask or not on the public hearing, but.
Oh, you can.
Oh, okay. So if we do award this grant or this money through the CDBG program, can we tie or put restrictions on it? Because I hear you talking about kind of assisting the citizens with down payment and stuff like that. Would there be conditions to the use of the money?
We can, my understanding is that we can cap the grant per family so that we can maximize the number of families that are affected. I was hoping to see a $3,500 limit or maximum per family.
Okay.
And if they, for whatever reason, they have to, come to the table with more, then that would have to be out of their pocket. But yes, we can have that type of restriction. Right?
Yes, and if I may, Affordable Homes has their own requirements as well for the homeowner that's applying for these funds as well.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
And it is regulated through them as well.
So this is a very strict qualification list that gets checked off. Also, I'd like to add that this again is going to affect 107 families. That's going to allow them to have a home. And the other thing that's really amazing about this organization is that they sell the homes at their cost. So this makes it very, very affordable for our residents to be able to walk into a new home.
Let's go.
And Ms. Nori, with that being said, I understand that, we have a cap, and I guess Mr. Perez was saying how the city manager and staff recommend and the CAC board recommends. But I have always been the voice for the voiceless, and I think the elderly in our community, especially for the woman that just spoke, I'm sure she's a director of the Silver Ribbon Community Partners. I do know that they do service Mission residents. I would like for it to be increased to the $3,000 to $6,000. I know that the city manager and staff are recommending $3,000 instead of the $1,000. I think if they have the proof that that's how many residents that they assist, that we should continue to assist them. I do not know the difference between Amigos del Valle, that we've always helped tremendously with them, and I've noticed that they requested $65,000 and we went down to 17 or 30, somewhere in between that. And I would just like to see how many elderly in our community are going to be affected with such a lower number. In the past, I guess we've given 20 to 15. Right, Mr. Perez?
20.
So this current year, Amigos del Valle was funded $20,000, and then also Silver Ribbon was funded $3,000.
Yeah. And so I never had a clear picture of the Camp University or where all that came, because I know that's fairly new. So I'm sure that our board and our staff from CDBG really look into all these organizations. I just want to be fair for the elderly in our community, because I do know that they just make ends meet with the water bills going up and the electricity and all of that. Everything is increasing. Even if you go to the grocery store right now to just buy eggs and milk, it's a lot. And so I want to make sure that we help them as much as possible.
Okay, so you're suggesting that maybe we go from the 1,000 to
3,000.
to 3,000? Okay.
Can we go by the staff recommendation, which is the 144,
What is that?
Well, there's something.
which is 3,000 for Silver Ribbon, the 17,000 for Amigos del Valle.
Well,
The 144 is the maximum that we can, that's our cap.
It's an $8,000 difference that we'd have to
Yeah.
look for.
we will have an opportunity to see
No, we
this
can go up to
list
140.
list
Yes.
again, right?
Once it's
we can go
approved,
up
yes.
to
Once it's, once
We
it's
can go up
approved.
to
Yes, this is a 30-day
Okay. So-
period, but this is the public hearing.
Okay, so
The
the
first
committee will.
one, we'll have to come back for the second
we'll have
one.
to- but So, but my question really was, will the committee meet again before it comes back? Or that, yes? The answer is yes. Okay. So I think they've kind of have some direction. So let's let them come back with some other suggested numbers, and then we'll look at that. Is that okay? Yes?
Were there any other comments?
I think, was that it, Beto?
No,
You're good?
I agreed with Jessica on the Silver Ribbon,
Okay.
maybe area agency on aging.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, because the
Alrighty.
area of aging is giving them food, right? It's providing them with food to their homes.
I'd have to
Yes.
defer that.
Yes, we do have Esther.
Okay.
Medical and home repairs.
As to your question for Cap University, that is for disabled, that they provide educational.
People on Zoom can't.
But is the agency from Mission?
No, they're out of McAllen, but they service Mission residents.
Okay.
That to provide individuals with disabilities to further educate them with workforce skills, language probably, whatever their needs are to improve their living conditions, that's what they provide. And they have been very successful in the years that we've sponsored them.
Okay.
So that's why we continue giving the amount that they are requesting.
Okay. I just want to make it a point to your board and your staff that the elderly in our community are also very important and dear to me, and I'm sure all of us here. that $1,000, I don't think it's going to be enough.
That's why we have this 30-day public hearing, so we can hear comments from the community, and then we'll bring it back and based on those suggestions, come back with the recommendations that may be more reasonable for these agencies.
Okay, because she just said on a public comment that the agency helps residents as high as $6,000, so they even have to come up with a $3,000. So the need is there.
Yes,
Okay,
we're aware of that.
thank you.
This is just the recommendation. The 1,000 was from the community, the Citizens Advisory Committee.
Okay.
So it's not the final approval. This is just the recommendation.
Okay.
So we'll go back to them, let them know what the recommendations were, and then see if they will reconsider the amounts.
Okay, sounds good.
That's the plan.
All righty. If there are no other comments, I'll close the public hearing on this item. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to close the public hearing on item number 8. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously. And that was the only public hearing item? No? Oh, we have planning and zoning, sorry. We're like, what? Okay, next item.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Item number 9 is a rezoning for a 2.33 gross acre tract out of that certain 17.88 acre tract out of Lot 29-4, West Addition to Shareland. This is from R1 Single Family Residential to C3 General Business. The applicant is Isidoro Gomez. If the council is inclined to approve this item, an adoption of an ordinance will be needed. The subject site is located approximately 700 feet west of Trosper Road along the north side of West Mile 2. Surrounding zones include agricultural to the northwest and south and residential to the east. Existing land uses include to the north, single-family residential. To the east, there's a home and vacant. To the west, the United Irrigation District. The site is currently vacant. The future land use map shows this area as low-density residential and public. The proposed zone does not comply with city's future land use nor surrounding land uses. Approving a C3 zone in this location would be detrimental to the surrounding single-family residential properties that are currently there. Staff recommends denial. Now, we know that the applicant wants to use or is proposing a storage facility for this area. We are not so much opposed to the storage facility, but the zone would allow any other businesses in that area. Staff recommended denial, P&Z recommended approval. This is a public hearing. This item is now before you.
Okay, is there anyone here that would like to speak in favor or in opposition to this item? Anyone here that would like to speak in favor or in opposition? Is there anyone on Zoom? No? Okay. Is there a motion to close the public hearing on this
I'll
item?
move to close the public hearing.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to close the public hearing on item number 9. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously, 5-0. Is there discussion or questions for staff? I have a question. Is there any other way that they could put in a storage facility without having to rezone the property?
The only way would be to amend our current ordinance to allow it under conditional use permit.
Okay.
And include it as all of there is a section, but it doesn't specifically specify storage units facility currently on our ordinance. That would allow them to apply for a conditional use permit. So we would need to amend that section of the code to allow storage unit facilities.
And is it possible to, if we went the amendment route, could we amend it to maybe like a C1?
It's actually, that section is actually on all the commercial zones, including a C1.
Okay.
But they would have to apply for a conditional use permit.
So then they didn't necessarily have to apply for a C3? They could have applied for a C1?
The problem is the conditional use permit, it doesn't specifically states that. So we would need to get a workshop or a clarification to rewrite that section to include storage units facilities.
Okay.
But Ms. De Luna, so staff is denying, but P&Z approved it.
The only reason staff is denying is because in a C3, there is no restrictions or there is no conditions, either you approved or not. Once the property is owned, he is proposing a storage unit facility, and that might be it. But what happens if they decide not to do that, and the residents there are okay with storage, but not any other type of convenience store, bar and grill that would be allowed under C3?
And
That's the
so
only
can
reason.
our motion be approval of what P&Z states, but only a storage unit?
We
No,
can't
but-
put conditions on rezoning, it's either approved or denied.
Yeah, but-
That's the only reason, and we have actually 2 or 3 items that you will be seeing in regards to the same. The only way currently how they would be with a C3 zone.
Right. Yes, so we can't put any conditions on a rezoning, so it's either yes or no, and they can do anything that is listed in the C3 zone.
Be
So
a gas station.
it could be a gas station, a bar and grill, like Susie's saying, but I would like to see, so there's a little less of a threat, or I'm going to call it a threat, but if we were to allow a storage unit in a C1 zone, then it could be zone C1, and they couldn't do anything else but what's listed in the C1 zoning to include storage facilities, but mostly a C1, as y'all know, is medical and types of offices, right? So I would like to suggest that we have a workshop and take a closer look at adding storage facilities to the C1 zone. And if an owner decided, well, I'm not going to do the storage room, but I have the zoning to put in an office, that wouldn't be detrimental to the area, I would imagine.
Do you want to down zone to C1? Because
We could do that today.
Because currently it is, there
Yes.
are single-family residential.
You
Yes.
could, but remember,
Yes.
it's a conditional use under C1, right?
Yes, but they would still need to go through the process, but at least they already have a zone.
That's true.
Currently in
So
an
instead of
R1,
going
it
to
wouldn't be allowed.
C1, we can do instead of going to C3, we can
Yes.
We could do a C1,
Yes.
and then they would still, amending the ordinance would allow them to apply for a conditional use permit.
Right. So
And that would give enough time for
Exactly.
the council to come back and actually make that a.
Right.
And are the applicants here?
I'm not
I-
sure. Mr., are you the applicant?
Yes.
Isidoro? Come on.
Can you please state your name and address?
I came here.
Your name and address.
Isidoro Gomez.
And-
1000 West Mile 2 Road.
Okay.
Mission, Texas.
Okay. So the conversation that we're having right now, sir, is that we're looking at possibly downgrading your request from a C3 to a C1.
What's the difference?
And the difference would be is that between now and possibly the next meeting, we would have a change in our ordinance that would allow you to put in the storage room. With, and so you would get what you needed, and the city and the surrounding areas would get they would feel more comfortable about not having a bar and grill or a car wash or
Yeah.
a store or something like that.
That's about the only thing I can do there, storage is.
Right. Okay.
Not a big piece of property.
Right, so would you be okay with that?
Well, is there going to be a wait or what?
Either way, you would have had to have had a wait. Yes.
What you're proposing here is a C3, which allows a variety of more
Oh, okay.
businesses.
Yes.
What a C1 would allow, limit.
Yeah, all I'm interested in is storages.
Okay.
Yeah.
All righty.
And how long would that take? The next month or what?
I guess you can,
It might take about a month.
but you can move forward with your planning and what you can, you can
So
do
it would be
stuff.
secure that it would pass?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's fine with me.
All righty, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. All right, is there a motion to?
Yeah,
did
I'd
we
like to
already
make a motion to close
close the
the
hearing, right?
public hearing.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to close the public hearing on item number 9. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously. Is there any discussion or questions or a motion to be offered?
I move to approve the
C1.
single-family residence to a C1.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second to move forward with a rezoning of the 2.3 acres out of 1788 out of Lot 29-4 West Addition to Sharyland from R1 to C1. And that would be an ordinance of 5320. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Next item.
Item number 10 is a rezoning for a 4.50 acre tract of land, more or less, carved out of the south half of the east 10 acres of the north 20 acres of Lot 29-4 West Addition to Sharyland. This is from AOI Agricultural Open Entrance to C3 General Business. The applicant is Red Line Development LLC. If the council is inclined to approve this item, an adoption of an ordinance will be needed. The subject site is located approximately 650 feet of West Mile 2 Road along the west side of Trosper Road. Surrounding zones include agricultural to the northeast and west, a single-family residential to the south. Existing land uses include residential to the northeast, actually to all directions. The site currently is vacant. The future land use map shows this area as low-density residential. The proposal does not comply with city's future land use map nor surrounding land uses. Again, the applicant is proposing storage units for this area. However, the applicant did submitted a petition reflecting 80% in favor of the request for storage unit facility from the surrounding property owners. Staff recommended denial of the C3. P&Z recommended approval for the same reason. This is a public hearing. This item is now before you.
Okay. Is there anyone here that would like to speak in favor or in opposition to item number 10? Please state your name and address, sir.
I'm Emigdio Salinas, and our office is located at 1810 East Griffin Parkway with M2 Engineering and representing Red Line Development on the rezoning. This here, the 4.5 acres, 650 feet north of Mile 2, we're proposing storage units. We already have a site plan that we're working on. And I did speak with Susie. She did mention the issue with the C3. We did we got some letters signed for a petition with the surrounding neighbors. And we did include in that letter that our proposal is for storage units. We're not proposing anything else. We understand that the C3 is a little vague on the opportunity for commercial, but we do propose storage facility, and we don't have an issue with it being a C1 if that's the case. And we just would like to respectfully request to see if we could, I guess, submit the planning requirements like the plat and whatnot.
Okay.
That's it.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak in favor or in opposition to this item? Anyone on Zoom? No? Is there a motion to close the
I move
hearing?
to close the public hearing.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to close the public hearing on this item. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously 5-0. Any questions for staff or a motion to be offered?
I move to approve the agricultural open interim to C1.
Okay.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve a C1 zone at the 4.5 acres out of the east 10 acres of lot 29-4 West Addition to Sharyland. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ordinance 5329.
Yes. And that would be ordinance number 5321. All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously, 5-0. Next item.
Item number 11 is a rezoning of a 1-acre tract of land out of Lot 195 Johnny Sherry. This is from AOI Agricultural Open Interim to R3 Multifamily. The applicant is Benchmark Real Estate Investments LLC in care of Epigmenio Gonzalez. If the council is inclined to approve this item, an adoption of an ordinance will be needed. The subject site is located approximately 420 feet east of Sherry Road along the south side of East 4th Street. Surrounding zones include residential to the north, to the east is residential, and multifamily to the west and south is commercial. Existing land uses to the north and to the east, there's a single-family residential home. To the west is IHOP, to the south is La Fogata. The site is currently vacant. The future land use map shows this area as general commercial. The proposed zone does not comply with city's future land use map nor surrounding land uses. This property is located between two commercial properties, which would be the best use for this property. For that reason, staff is recommending denial. However, P&Z recommended approval. This is a public hearing. This item is now before you.
It's to the north of La Fogata. Is there?
Behind the IHOP.
Behind the IHOP. Is there anyone here that would like to speak in favor or in opposition? Please state your name and address.
My name is Liliana Gonzalez. My address is 10930 North Sherry Road here in Mission. Good afternoon to everyone, Mayor.
Thank you.
Garza. So my husband and I own Benchmark Real Estate Investments. We live in Mission. We have lived in Mission since we got married, probably 23 years. We want to invest in our own city. We are proposing building a gated apartment complex, high-end, like little townhouses, where the same person who lives on the first floor has, the bedrooms on the second floor. It would be 18 units. Like I said, they would be high-end, gated, and we just feel that we would really create a good environment for residents of the city of Mission, and it would be close to restaurants, other homes, the expressway, and that is what we're proposing. Planning and zoning approved it, and we're here looking for your approval.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else here that would like to speak in favor or in opposition? Is there anyone on Zoom? No? Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
Move to close the public hearing.
There's a motion and a second to close the public hearing. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously, 5-0. Are there any questions for staff?
Is this a property to the east of IHOP?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
So this
And
is
it's a 1-acre tract.
It's a 1-acre tract.
1 acre. And they can get 18 units on,
That's what she mentioned, 18 units. She's proposing 18 units.
okay. Well, but that's another.
That's at the subdivision stage,
Yes.
if it does get approved.
Yes, exactly. Mhm.
At that time, we decided they meet setbacks.
Setbacks and everything else. Mhm.
But right now, if we approve at C3, is
R3.
R3, so they can always put up any apartments. And
Anything more than 4 requires the R3, but it's also subject to the size of the lot. So you can't, there's rules.
So they
that
would have to
follow.
come back.
Yes, they would. Mhm.
I move to approve.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to approve the rezoning request as presented from an AOI to an R3 multifamily residential. All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously, 5-0. Next, and that was ordinance number 5322. Next item.
Item number 12 is a rezoning for the north 190.5 feet of the west 180 of Lot 24-11, West Addition to Shareland. This is from C1 office building to C2 neighborhood commercial. The applicant is Mario R. Ansaldúa. If the council is inclined to approve this item, an adoption of an ordinance will be needed. The subject site is located at the southeast corner of Griffin Parkway and Bryan Road. Surrounding zones include general business to the north, office building to the east and west, and single-family residential to the south. Existing land uses to the north is vacant. To the east, there's a ITM Income Tax Masters. To the west is the Bryan Medical Plaza. The side and to the south, there's a single-family residential home. The future land use map shows this area as general commercial. The proposed zone does comply with city's future land use map and surrounding land uses. The applicant is proposing a daycare at this location, therefore the need for a C2 zone. P&Z and staff recommended approval. This item is now before you.
Okay, is there anyone here that would like to speak in favor or in opposition? Anyone here that would like to speak in favor or in opposition to the request, the rezoning request? Is there anyone on Zoom? No. Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to close the public hearing. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously 4-0. Are there any questions for staff or a motion to be offered?
I move for approval, Mayor.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to approve the rezoning request to a C2 neighborhood commercial zone. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously 4-0, and that's ordinance number 5323. Next item.
Item number 13 is a conditional use permit. This is to designate an area as a mobile food park and open air market. This is for 2509 Colorado Street, being Lot 1, Block 2, Santa Lucia Development. It's currently zoned C3 General Business, and the applicant is MDM Commercial Properties. If the council is inclined to approve this item, an adoption of an ordinance will be needed. This item was previously seen by the council on April 10, 2023. It was discovered that the address for the mobile food park was incorrect. They applied under the suite, which was 2515. And there was a typo on the hours of operation, so it was recommended by our legal department that we reconsider this item to correct everything. The subject site is located near the northwest corner of Colorado and Taylor Road along the north side of Colorado Street. The applicant is the owner of the entire commercial development and would like to designate this area as a mobile food park and open air market. There will be an outdoor market for local vendors. The applicant is proposing to have 8 mobile food units, 3 containers, 4 kiosks for pop-up shops, restroom facilities, and an area for a parking lot designed for the vendors for the open air market. Access to the site will be provided off of Colorado or Taylor through existing 24-foot driveways. Hours of operation were Monday through Sunday from 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. Hours of operation for the open air market would be every Saturday from 6 to 10 p.m. For parking, the designated area requires 23 parking spaces. There's a total of 67 existing parking spaces, and they have submitted a written agreement to use the parking spaces for the commercial plaza if needed. P&Z and staff recommended approval, subject to a 1-year reevaluation in order to assess this new operation. They must comply with all city codes, and they must acquire a business license prior to occupancy. Of course, each unit that will be proposed in this area will need to apply for their own conditional use permit. This is a public hearing. This item is now before you.
Okay, is there anyone here that would like to speak in favor or in opposition to this item? Anyone here that would like to speak in favor or in opposition to this item? Is there anyone on Zoom? Nope. Okay. Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So move.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to close the public hearing on item number 14. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously, 5-0. Are there any questions for staff or a motion to be offered?
What are the hours of operation?
The hours of operation for the mobile food park would be 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. And for the open air market, they're proposing every Saturday from 6 to 10.
So, I did get a couple of phone calls from some of the residents there. So we will make sure that we follow the sound ordinance and all of that, right?
Yes, sir.
I'll move to approve, Mayor.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to approve the conditional use permit as presented. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously, 5-0, and that is ordinance number 5324. I'm going to move on to item number 19, which is the possible discussion and action to designate a honorary street, which, Susie, that's your item as well?
Yes. Item number 19 is a discussion and possible action to designate an honorary street name. Staff has received a written petition dated May 1st, 2023 from Santiago Coronado, requesting that City of Mission consider the honorary street name of Sandra Coronado Street for Laredo Street from Paul Drive to Humberto Javier Avila, or also known as Pecan Street, a distance of approximately 470 feet. Ms. Sandra Coronado was the most wonderful, loving, caring, unselfish, intelligent, supportive, responsible, protective, hardworking daughter a parent could ever have. She went to college and graduated with a bachelor's degree in social science, which took her 6 years to accomplish because she was working and going to school at the same time. Sandra was the oldest child. She would always be present for her siblings, special occasions, and holidays. She had a saying that was Ohana, which means family, and families never left behind or forgotten. Ms. Coronado worked with the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Department for almost 2 years. On December 9, 2018, while on her way to work on a Sunday morning, her vehicle was struck by a vehicle that ran a stop sign at a high speed, jumped over the road, frontage road. The family is requesting that they name the Sandra Coronado an honorary street name that will have no change on an address for anyone. They respectfully request that it be approved on the block stretch from Paul Drive to Humberto Avila. P&Z and staff recommended approval. The family is here. This is a public hearing in case you have any questions.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone here, I think, that would like to speak in favor of the item, the family? Would you all like to come up? No? Okay. All right. Is there anyone, I have to ask if there's anybody else. So is there anyone else here that would like to speak in favor or in opposition to this item? Is there anyone on Zoom? No? Okay, is there a motion to close? We have to close the
I'll
public
move
hearing.
to close the public
Oh,
hearing.
I'm sorry, I moved to close the public hearing.
Second.
Okay, so there's a motion and a second to close the public hearing on item number 19. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously 5-0.
And now I will officially like to make a motion to name the street for your precious daughter, and I'm sorry for your loss.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the action to designate the street as presented. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously 5-0, and that would be ordinance number 2326.
5325.
5325.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Because we skipped
Would it be a presentation from the city or?
25.
We'll coordinate that with.
We'll have a ribbon cutting
Yes, for the-
ceremony once we're ready with the signage and everything, and you can get together with the city to see what day is good for you, for the family. Okay? Yes, we can do that. We can take a picture. Sure. Would you like to come up and have a picture taken?
2, 1. One more, one more. 3, 2, 1. One last one. 3, 2, 1.
The next item is item number
14?
15.
14, okay.
Item number 14 is a conditional use permit for a mobile food truck. This is for Antojitos La Quepalque, located at 2509 Colorado Street. This would be out of Lot 1, Block 2, Santa Lucia Development. It's currently zone C3. The applicant is Luis Gomez. If the council is inclined to approve this item, an adoption of an ordinance will be needed. The subject site is located near the northwest corner of Colorado and Taylor Road along the north side of Colorado. The applicant is leasing a space on the recently approved mobile food park and would like to place his mobile food unit to offer Mexican food. The days and hours of operation are Monday to Sunday from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. He's proposing 2 employees. P&Z and staff recommended approval for a 1-year reevaluation in order to assess this new operation. They must comply with all city codes and they must acquire a business license prior to occupancy. This is a public hearing. This item is now before you.
Okay, is there anyone that would like to speak in favor or in opposition to this item? Anyone here that would like to speak in favor or in opposition? Is there anyone on Zoom? Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
I move to close the public hearing.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to close the public hearing. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously 5-0. Are there any questions for staff or a motion?
I move to approve.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the conditional use permit as presented,
An ordinance 5326.
and the ordinance would be 5326. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously 5-0. Next item.
Item number 15 is a conditional use permit for a mobile food truck. This is at Caramela Food Boutique at 2509 Colorado Street, out of Lot 1, Block 2, Santa Lucia Development. It's currently Zone C3 General Business. The applicant is Caramela Food Boutique. If the council is inclined to approve this item and adoption of an ordinance, subject site is located near the northeast corner of Colorado and Taylor Road along the north side of Colorado Street. The applicant is leasing a space at the recently approved mobile food park and would like to offer her teas, frappes, smoothies, and a variety of crepes. Access to the site will be provided off of Colorado and Taylor Road. The days and hours of operation proposed are Tuesday to Sunday from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. She's currently proposing 2 employees. P&Z and staff recommended approval, subject to a 1-year reevaluation. They must comply with all city codes, and they must acquire a business license prior to occupancy. This is a public hearing. This item is now before you.
Okay, is there anyone here that would like to speak in favor or in opposition to this item? Anyone here that would like to speak in favor or in opposition to this conditional use permit? Is there anyone on Zoom? Okay, is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved, Mayor.
There's a motion and a second to close the public hearing on item number 15. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously. Are there any questions for staff or a motion to be
I
offered?
move to approve, Mayor, with ordinance number 5327.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to approve the conditional use permit as presented. Ordinance number 5327. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously. Next item.
Item number 16 is a conditional use permit for Whoopi Event Center located at 301 West Griffin Parkway, Suites 2 and 3. This is out of Lot 1D Mission Park Plaza. It's currently zoned general business, and the applicant is Yolanda Torres. If the council is inclined to approve this item, an adoption of an ordinance will be needed. The subject site is located approximately 750 feet west of Conway Avenue along the south side of Griffin Parkway. The applicant is leasing 2 suites within the commercial plaza totaling 2,728 square feet for her proposed event center. Access to the site will be provided off of Griffin Parkway through 2 existing 24-foot driveways. An event center is an allowable use under a C3 zone as long as they apply for a conditional use permit. Days and hours of operation are Monday to Sunday from 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. They're proposing 3 employees. For parking, they require a total of 27 parking spaces. It is noted that there are 78 existing parking spaces that are shared with other businesses. The applicant proposes to host kids' parties, baby showers, casual play dates, and small-scale events. Staff mailed out 18 notices to property owners within 200-foot radius, and staff has not received any comments in favor against the request. Staff is recommending approval for life of use, subject to complying with all city codes. They must acquire a business license prior to occupancy, the CUP not to be transferable to others. They are not proposing to have any alcohol in this event center. This is a public hearing. This item is now before you.
Okay, is there anyone here that would like to speak in favor or in opposition to this request? Anyone here that would like to speak in favor or in opposition? Is there anyone on Zoom?
I move to close the public hearing, Mayor.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to close the public hearing. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously, 5-0. Are there any questions for staff or a motion to be
I
offered?
move to approve the CUP for Whoopee Event Center.
There's a motion and a second to approve the conditional use permit for Whoopee Event Center at 301 West Griffin Parkway. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously, and that's ordinance number 5328. Okay, next item.
Item number 17 is a conditional use permit renewal for the sale and on-site consumption of alcoholic beverages. This is for Mariscos El Siete Mares number 2, located at 2500 East Expressway 83, Suite 100. This would be out of Lot 5B, Sherryland Place subdivision. Is currently zoned general business, and the applicant is Siete Mares Mexican Seafood Cocina LLC. If the council is inclined to approve this item, an adoption of an ordinance will be needed. The restaurant is located within the Coles Commercial Plaza, approximately a quarter-mile east of Sherry Road along the south side of Expressway 83. The restaurant has been in business at this location since 2018. The last conditional use permit approved by PNC at this location was on April 22nd, 2020 for a period of 3 years. The applicant would like to renew his permit so that he continue to offer alcoholic beverages with his meal. Staff knows that this would be his second renewal for the location. Days and hours of operation are Monday to Sunday from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. He currently has 4 employees. There's a total of 64 seating spaces, which require 21 parking spaces. There's a total of 657 existing parking spaces that are shared with other businesses. Staff requested a report from Mission PD in regards to the sale of alcoholic beverages. There have been no calls reported. PNC and staff recommended approval for life of use, subject to continued compliance with all city codes and that CUP not be transferable to others. This is a public hearing. This item is now before you.
Okay, is there anyone here that would like to speak in favor or in opposition to this item? Anyone here that would like to speak in favor or in opposition to this conditional use renewal? Is there anyone online?
Mayor, I move to close the public hearing.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to close the public hearing on item number 17. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously, 5-0. Are there any questions for staff or a motion?
I move to approve with ordinance 5329 for the life of use.
There's a motion and a second to approve the conditional use permit as requested for the life of use. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously, 5-0, and that's ordinance, again, 5329.
Mira la cerveza helada ya.
Next item.
Item number 18 is a conditional use permit renewal to keep a 20 by 8 storage container or plot for a temporary office use. This is for Charell Company LLC, located at 608 Trinity Road. This would be out of Lot 2B, Anver subdivision. It's currently zoned industrial, and the applicant is Charell Company LLC in care of Ana Guerra. If the council is inclined to approve this item, an adoption of an ordinance will be needed. The subject site is located approximately 520 feet west of Mayberry Road along the south side of Trinity Road. The applicant has been in operation at this location since 2021. The applicant would like to renew her conditional use permit to keep the storage container for temporary office use. The CUP was last approved by P&Z October 13 for a period of 1 year. Staff note that the applicant did not obtain her business license up until April 18, 2022. Hours of operation are Monday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. They currently have 5 employees. A minimum of 5 parking spaces are required. P&Z and staff recommended approval, subject to a 1-year reevaluation to assess this new operation and to be in compliance with building, fire, and sign codes. The applicant has mentioned that they are in the process of closing in this property, and hopefully this will be their last renewal because they intend to do a permanent structure at that location. This is a public hearing. This item is now before you.
Okay. Is there anyone here that would like to speak in favor or in opposition to this conditional use permit request? Anyone here that would like to speak in favor or in opposition? Is there anyone on Zoom?
I'll move to close the public hearing.
There's a motion and a second to close the public hearing. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously 5-0. Are there any questions for staff or a motion?
I move to approve
Second.
based on the recommendation of planning and zoning and staff.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to approve the conditional use permit as requested, and that would be ordinance number 5330. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously, 5-0.
Thank you.
And that is the end of our public hearings. The next item is the consent agenda. Is there anything on the consent agenda that needs to be pulled and discussed individually?
I would like to see if we can get an update on number 28, Mayor.
Number 28, okay. Are there any other items that would need to be considered individually?
Mayor, item number 24 and 25, the resolution creating the Special Events and Entertainment Committee, and then the ordinance to create the Unified Community Advisory Board, those will be changed to add a city council member.
Okay.
I would like to make a motion to approve with those recommended, those changes, and with the exception number 28.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as presented for the exception of item number 28 and to include a council member on items number 23 and 24. Item number 23 would have a resolution number 1839, and item number 24 would have resolution number 1840. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously.
Mayor,
5-0.
and 25 would have ordinance 5331.
Okay, I missed that one.
So item 23, 24, and 25 would all have a city council member.
Yes. That's correct. Okay.
Well, yes, ma'am.
Okay, item number 37.
28.
20, what? 28? I'm already at 37. What are you guys doing?
This one that you pulled out.
I flipped too many pages? Oh, yes, the one that we pulled, sorry.
We can go to 37.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council.
Okay.
Item number 28, approval of third amendment to reimbursement agreement between the City of Mission Redevelopment Authority Reimbursement Zone Number 1 and the City of Mission related to the Police and Fire Substation Number 6. The Mission Redevelopment Authority Reimbursement Zone 1 MRA TERS Board of Directors are requesting the approval of the third amendment to reimbursement agreement between TERS and the City of Mission. related to the city, to the police fire substation number 6 project. The request amended amount is from $6,166,000 with $40 to an amount not to exceed $7,231,270 with 80 cents. Plus the $765,230 with 80 cents for additional improvements and $300,000 for furniture. The City of Mission is overseeing the construction aspects of this project, and the MRA Church will reimburse the City of Mission the associated construction costs as outlined in this agreement. The third amendment to reimbursement agreement was approved by the Church Board May 23, 2023. Staff and City Manager recommends approval.
Move for approval, Mayor.
Okay.
Well, I would like to know, what makes the $765,000? What improvements are we talking about?
There were some changes in the plans, Mr. Plata. We are widening Schubach to add a deceleration lane for the fire department and their equipment to be able to make the turning radius into the substation. Also, we are changing the facade of, extend the block fence on the facing military, as the existing plans called for a chain link fence, and we requested to put a continuous block fence as it meeting the front of the property. Those were some of the changes. Also, we are changing the conduit for the IT computers. Not the equipment, but the electrical for our IT was upgraded to a Cat 6A. Those were the changes that we had for.
We also had the gates that were for the parking that was not part of that, and so we're including gates with to secure the parking as well. That's also an improvement.
Do we have a breakdown of all those changes, or?
Yes, we do. It'll be part of the amendment of all those changes that we added to the plans.
On this project, we started with how much?
With $6.1 million.
No, but before that, I know we met with the architect and the two chiefs. I know we went over budget. How much was that?
Originally, it was the first estimate was about $5 million, and we value engineered that to a lower cost. And when we got the proposals or the fees, it exceeded that amount, and so we went back to the Church Board to get the approval. And so at that point, they approved the amount of $6.1 million. And now with the changes, it's at 7.2 because of that. But it has, we have seen the substantial amount of increase because of prices, inflation, and that's why we're at. So with this amount, this will include, the furniture. So it'd be a pretty much a turnkey project. But yes, the amounts have been increased substantially.
How much did we have for furniture when we first approved this project?
We didn't have any.
It was not part of the original estimate.
So there was no furniture?
Because of the budget, to meet the budget, yes, correct.
But we have a facility and we didn't put no money for furniture at all?
Yeah, so that the plan was to get estimates for the furniture to propose it to the church, which we did, and that at that point, that's what the amount, the estimates that we've come across. Previously, historically, the church has funded the projects, turnkey projects, and so this was one that we explained to the church that was part of the value engineering was to remove the furniture component at that point and then come back to present it to the church board.
So I guess we can say that from this we learned that when we budget for a new building, I mean, we need to put furniture, correct? I mean, I would say.
Well, yes, and it was originally, was on there, sir, but that was an item that was removed because of value engineering and also to meet the original approval amount for the TERS. So that was the reasoning behind that. But yes, absolutely, every facility needs to have furniture.
Mayor, may I ask Mr. Terrazas a question? What percentage are we at in the
Yes.
project?
We're approximately 70% completed.
Is there any way that we could tour the facility whenever it gets safer for us to go?
Sure, yes, ma'am.
Right, I would like to see it before it's like at 100%. If,
Sure.
I don't know, if you all
Yes.
would want to do that. but I'd like
Schedule a
to-
walkthrough?
Yeah, like a walkthrough. Because I know at the beginning they wanted to do red floors, and I think we went with something else, and I'd just like to see like where they're at with all that and how it looks.
Yes, on our next meeting, I can provide a status. We can
Or
take
even pictures, yeah, I
Yeah, we
like
can
that.
take pictures and bring a PowerPoint presentation on our next meeting if you
So
like.
when is our completion date? When?
It was originally scheduled for August. That is what, depending on everything that is available. I think one of the issues was, at the time, was that there was a delay on the AC units, the HVAC units, and that's currently the timeline.
That is correct, yes, sir.
We're looking at August of this year.
Maybe late July, go see it late July?
Yeah, I'd love to
That'd be
do that.
right? Okay. Okay.
Early in the morning or late in the afternoon?
Right.
Not
Before it gets hot?
3:30?
Before it gets hot? Yeah, okay.
Mayor, I guess there's a motion on the floor, right?
I
A
made a
second.
motion to approve.
And there's a motion and a second to approve the reimbursement agreement between Mission Redevelopment Authority and the City of Mission. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously 5-0. Okay, now we go to item number 37.
Item number 37 is a preliminary plat approval for Las Comadres Number 10 subdivision. This is a 64.65 acre tract of land out of a part of a certain 243.51 acre tract out of Porción 48. This is in our suburban ETJ. The developer is Carlos Leal, and the engineer is South Texas Infrastructure Group. This is located at the intersection of 4 Mile Line and Abram Road. The developer is proposing 56 single-family residential lots. Water belongs to Agua Sud. Sewer will be via on-site septic tanks. They're proposing 7 hydrants to be used as filling station. City engineer has reviewed and approved the drainage report. PNC and staff recommended approval, subject to meeting the model subdivision rules and meeting any comments from the county planning office. This item is now before you.
I move to approve the preliminary plat approval for Las Comadres.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the preliminary plat for Las Comadres Number 10 subdivision. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously 5-0.
Mayor, if I could just ask one question?
Yes.
Regarding the ETJ and our hydrants. Does the city fire department inspect those and maintain those that are in our ETJ as well? Do you know?
I know they, at one point, they do inspect, but I don't know.
Because when we spoke to Sheridan, they charge for the water that we use, so they haven't been inspected.
So we're not required to maintain those hydrants?
As far as I don't know, sir, anything outside the city.
So if it's part of the service plan, then maybe, but unless otherwise.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Next item.
Item number 38 is a preliminary plat approval for Crystal Estate Subdivision Phase 4. This is a 14.71 acre parcel of land out of Lot 27-1, West Addition to Sharyland. This is R2 duplex fourplex. The developer is DG and GG Investments LLC. The engineer is Ever Engineering LLC. The subject site is located east of Inspiration Road, approximately 400 1,400 feet south of West Mile 2. The developer is proposing 47 duplex fourplex lots. They will have city utilities. City engineer has reviewed and approved the drainage report. P&Z and staff recommended approval subject to a payment of sewer recovery fees, payment of park fees, the water district exclusion, and compliance with all other format findings. This item is now before you.
Mayor, I move to approve.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to approve the preliminary plat approval for Crystal Estates subdivision number 4. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously 5-0. Next item.
Item number 39 is a preliminary plat approval for Glamar Estates Phase 2. This is a .28 gross acre tract of land, more or less, out of Lot 245 Johnny Sherry subdivision. It's currently zoned R1 single-family residential. The developer is Gladys Marquez, and the engineer is Salinas Engineering and Associates. The site is located at the intersection of East 22nd Street and future Banworth Street. The developer is proposing 1 single-family residential lots. They are requesting a variance, that's why the reason they're before this. They're requesting a variance to have a lot frontage of 50 feet instead of the required 60 feet. They would have city utilities. City engineer has reviewed and approved the drainage report. Staff and P&Z recommended approval subject to payment of capital sewer recovery fees, water district exclusion, and approval of the variance. This item is now before you.
I move to approve.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to approve the plat as presented. Before we would, I do have a question. So this is Phase 2, right?
Yes.
Out of this, the subdivision that's probably adjoining it, right?
Yeah, the only thing is that was the
That
only
one
in the
little
strip that was not
spot that
included.
had been not included in the subdivision. So are they going to adhere to the same requirements and restrictions to?
They would be in compliance with everything. The only thing is on the frontage, lot
Okay.
frontage. That's the only thing that they would not be meeting.
Okay,
And if
All
we
right.
didn't approve the variance, they couldn't use that piece of land?
right.
Okay,
Yeah, they would need the variance in order to meet
right.
the requirements.
Okay, so there is a motion and a second to approve the plat, preliminary plat as presented. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously. Next
Thank you.
item.
Good afternoon, Mayor and City Council. Item number 40, interlocal agreement between the City of Mission and the county, excuse me, concerning Inspiration Road and Military Parkway Loop from Interstate 2, which is US 83 Expressway, to FM 1016. Inspiration Road Military Parkway Loop from the Expressway to FM 1016 is in need of expansion to a 5-lane roadway facility. The road is a major public thoroughfare and forms integral part of the county road and the city street system, and the improvements are in the best interest of the city and the county. The city desires to complete all project development activities, which include development of schematics, environmental clearance documents, public involvement, plan specifications and estimate, PS&E, coordination with RGVMPL for financing the project, as well as the right-of-way acquisition services, compensable utility management, construction of the roadway facility, and construction management services for the Inspiration Road Military Parkway Loop project within the city limits and county limits. The county agrees to support the proposition that the city be the fiduciary agent and assume the role of project development for all the phases of the project development activities mentioned above at 100% cost to the city within the city limits and the county limits. Staff and city manager recommends approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the interlocal agreement between the City of Mission and Hidalgo County concerning Inspiration Road from Military Parkway Loop to Business 83, or US 83, I'm sorry. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you, Mayor and
5-0.
Council. Item number 41, interlocal agreement between the City of Mission and County of Hidalgo concerning certain improvements to Los Ebanos Road from Interstate Highway I-2 to Military Parkway, Phase 1. The city and the county desires to cooperate in making needed transportation improvements to Los Ebanos Road from Interstate Highway I-2 to Military Parkway. The county will be the fiduciary agent for this project and assume the role of the project development lead. The city agrees that the county will assume the role of the project sponsors to develop Phase 1 of the road within the limits of the city. The county agrees to complete Phase 1 of the project development as detailed below. Phase 1, development of schematics, traffic warrants, projection, and level of service analysis, preparation of environmental documents, public involvements for the project within the stakeholders, archaeological and historical research, hydrological map for the project, surveying and subsurface utility engineering. The total Phase 1 project development cost is estimated to be $2,055,366. The county will contribute an estimated amount of $1,027,683. The city shall pay the county as it is contributes for Phase 1, $1,027,683 upon execution of this agreement. Staff and city manager recommends approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to approve item number 41. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously. Just real quick,
Thank you, Ms.
JP, this item, this is the new project that just got put on the text books, right?
That is correct, ma'am. This project just got voted in the TIP
Okay.
list we're requesting $4 million for MMPO.
Okay, all righty. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Item number 42, authorization to execute payment for emergency sanitary sewer repairs between Oblate and Francisco Avenue. Emergency purchase for sanitary sewer repairs between Oblate and Francisco Avenue due to collapsing sanitary sewer line. Request to execute payment for completed repairs by the 5125 company for $39,400. Staff and city manager recommends approval.
I move to approve the authorization to the payment for emergency sanitary sewer repairs.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to authorize payment for emergency repairs. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously, 5-0.
Thank you.
Item number 43, the applicant has requested to not to hear this item, so is there a motion to table?
I move to table the item.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to table item number 43. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously. Okay, that's it. That's done for our agenda. We'll move on to routine matters. City manager?
Yes, ma'am. I just have a couple announcements. On Thursday of this week, we will be having the Welcome Home Speedy Trail subdivision by Affordable Homes. So basically, from 8:30 to 5, it's for the citizens to come into Speedy Trails. Appointments are encouraged, walk-ins are welcome. So basically, it's for them to find out more information about the program, if they are eligible and how much they can afford to buy in the next steps, and then, of course, reserve lots. So that is an event that it is hosted by Affordable Homes of South Texas. And so that's on Thursday from 8:30 to 5 p.m. Also, on June 21st, CDBG office will be hosting their one-stop shop, again from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. It's for utility rental assistance program. And also, just to make everyone aware that we will be having our first 4th of July event. It will be taking place at the Mission Event Center. We are planning for July the 3rd. We will have live music, entertainment. It's a free event for the community from 6 to 10. And we will have vendors and also entertainment and also games and prizes for the children. It's a family event. Everyone's welcome. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Next item, council comments? Ms. Jessica?
So I was looking through my calendar and wow, how time flies, huh? A year ago on yesterday was a runoff where Nori and myself won our runoff election. And so that was a aha moment, because, you know, I'm so proud to be sitting up here amongst my colleagues. We all come from a different line of career, but I feel that we have gotten along so well to move our city forward, and we will continue to do that. As you all know, you as directors, sometimes we don't see eye to eye on a lot of things, but I feel that our team is solid enough to understand, and sometimes we agree, but we also agree to disagree, and we're very professional. And so I'm extremely proud of serving here amongst amazing colleagues, and I'm looking forward to the next 3 years. So thank you very much for all your hard work and dedication, and even for those of you that take time being here to join us, to listen into our meetings that sometimes are short and sometimes are very long. And so I thank you, but for myself, I will continue to serve with integrity, with heart, and with passion. And I look forward to many wonderful things to come here for our beautiful city.
Thank you.
Well, I take the compliment. Thank you.
You're welcome.
No comments. Feel good.
Okay, great, thank you.
No comment.
You have one more?
Yes, I do want to make we do have a tentative date for the official groundbreaking and starting of the project for Lions Park, June the 20th. And so we are coordinating for June the 20th. We want, hopefully everyone's available, but that's the tentative date, and we are coordinating with the contractor to do the official. They should be mobilized by then, and we will be providing the details as they come available. Just want to make everyone aware.
Thank you very much. That's exciting. I just have one comment. Today, Randy and I attended the Ansel Lewis board meeting that we meet monthly, and I have failed to let you all know that bridge is doing very well. Every month, the crossings are increasing. They're tremendous when you compare May to May 22 to May 23. So, you know, I'm just so proud of staff and our city and our previous leaders that saw that this was a tremendous need. So it's all happening. The need is growing. We'll have commercial traffic soon, hopefully by the end of the year, if we don't have any other rain days, but things are looking great for our Ansel Lewis Bridge, and I just wanted to share that with y'all. So
I'll email everyone the numbers so everyone can have those.
okay, thank you. There being no other business, is there
I'll move to adjourn.
Second that.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very, very much, everybody.
Always supporting for us to be able to provide resources like this for our Mission Police Department. And so thank you so much for that. I do want to thank the officers that are willing to ride on these motorcycles, because we understand motorcycles can be dangerous. And so we continue praying for them daily, that we pray for their safety and for the safety of our citizens, because it is important that this is another area of maneuverability for the access that these motorcycles will have, that a patrol unit will not. And so that to us, that's extremely important and critical. But more importantly is to have the individuals and the police officers to be able to and willing to ride. I understand that they're fun to ride because they are brand new Harley Davidson motorcycles. However, they are extremely dangerous, and so we ask them to obviously patrol our streets cautiously, but more importantly, this is another area to continue patrolling our streets and keeping our community safe. And so to us, that's critical. Our safety of our community is critical, and of course, safety of our officers that are on patrol. And so thank you all so much for being here. May God bless the City of Mission. May God bless our officers that are riding in these motorcycles, and may God bless each and every one of you. Thank you.